A full weekend of high school football kicks off with the Class Single A semifinal here at the Georgia Dome. It's the Wilcox County Patriots, 12-1 on the year, taking on the Spartans of Athens Academy, also at 12-1. This is the first of 10 football games this weekend right here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. 5 today, 5 tomorrow for morning, afternoon, and night. It's our annual football extravaganza. John Wilkerson with Bo Bach, and we kick off things with the Class Single A semifinal between Athens Academy and Wilcox Academy, and really two teams that do a lot of things different.
Well, a lot of things differently. They're similar in that they're both 12-1. They're both learning to love to pigskins for breakfast, but more importantly, Coach Ledford of Wilcox County told me, shucks, we got just a bunch of good old country kids who play in the zone. They get locked in, and Coach Gunn of Athens Academy says we've got a bunch of good students who make adjustments on the fly. They've got one advantage, though. They were lucky enough to play in this 9 a.m. game a year ago.
And let's tell you about Wilcox County, and they got a pretty talented team, especially a quarterback.
Especially a quarterback, they've got a kid by the name of Lorenzo Dennard. He's a 4-year starter, 65 career TDs, 6,000 career yards, and he is a senior. On the defensive side of the ball, they feature middle linebacker number 36, Woody LeGrier. He's a senior. They moved him from defensive end to middle linebacker because teams were running away from him. They want to get him in the mix. He's 6'1", 240, benches 370, and is a 4.4 speedster.
Now, Mark Ledford's in his 7th year as head coach of the Wilcox County Patriots. He tells you what you can expect when you watch the Patriots play tonight.
Based out of an I formation where we like to run the ball. We've run the ball a good bit as of late, but we won't hesitate to get in a spread set where we'll be doubles or trips, and where we led by a quarterback who's thrown for over 6,000 yards in his career. We feel like we've got some pretty good receivers, and we just try to get the ball to them and get it in space and let them do their thing. Defensively, we're in a 4-3 defense. We like to get our linebackers on the move, making plays. Our secondary's had a good season for us, and we've got some kids that have played over there a number of years, and we're excited about the way our defense has played this season.
And there's already a lot of blue in the stands. A lot of fans drove up from Rochelle to watch the Patriots play. A lot of green, too, for Athens Academy. And let's talk about the Spartans. And they have a talented running back in Will Calloway.
Will Calloway is really something. He's got a bunch of yards. He's undersized but hard-nosed. He's only 5'10" and 180. He benches 330, though, and averages 6.6 yards per carry. He wears number 20. On the other side of the ball, that strong safety is number 37, James Colquitt, only a junior. He's also a kick returner and averages 8.4 yards a carry. On defense, he has 87 tackles and 2 interceptions.
Michael Gunn is the head coach of Athens Academy. He's highly successful. He's built that program, and he tells you what you expect when you watch the Spartans play today.
On the offensive side of the ball, we like running out of the I formation. We've got a good tailback, good fullback that we run the ball a good bit with, and we will spread the ball a little bit, running some trips and some two-man game is what we call it, and we throw the ball a little bit out of that. I consider us more of a run offense than a pass offense. On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to run a base 50. We will get into a 4-man front sometimes on passing situations. We play a very good football team with a lot of team speed, so we're going to have to do some different things and put 5 defensive backs in the game sometimes, which is not what we're used to doing, but that's something we feel like we're going to have to do this week.
Of course, Athens Academy here last year, as Bo mentioned. Let's introduce you to the 3rd member of our crew, patrolling the sidelines for us. It's Scott Kozlowski. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's never too early for football. In fact, I had a chance to talk to both coaches before the game about this 9 a.m. start. And Coach Ledford told me with a little bit of an eye roll, he wishes he could play all his games at 9 a.m. I asked him about never having played in the Dome before. He said he thought most of his kids had on PlayStation. Now, as you guys mentioned, Athens Academy did play here last year at 9 a.m. They're going to try to use that to their advantage. As far as game plan, Wilcox County wants to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers and play great defense. Athens Academy tells me the only thing they're going to try to do different is contain the speed of Wilcox County. Otherwise, they're going to do what got them here. Back to you guys.
Welcome to the Georgia Dome. You take a look at the Patriots of Wilcox County. Their first appearance in the Georgia Dome, not the first appearance in the semifinals. They were here back in 1989, the last time that the Patriots have gotten this far in a playoff. Donnie Clark was the head coach back then. He's a legend back in Rochelle. Got a chance to talk to him earlier today. Athens Academy makes their appearance under the dome. They were here last year, lost to Clinch County. They're back to avenge that loss and go to the state championship. Huge crowd made the trip from Athens.
So we said pigskins for breakfast, John. Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Coach Ledford said everybody told him just, stick with your routine. He said there's nothing routine about playing at 9 a.m. I don't know how you can stick with a routine.
I was talking to Coach Ledford Sunday. He was a little apprehensive about how he can plan for a 9 a.m. game. And then he brought up the Atlanta traffic, which we know very well, Bo.
I told him to be careful of that. He said, don't worry, the sheriff's coming up.
There you go.
I said, good going, Coach. Get the lights going and the siren blaring, and your kids will wake up.
There you go.
One advantage, though, of playing at 9 o'clock is that you're the two teams that get here as early as 6:30, walk around the field, get acclimated, feel the turf, get used to the sight lines, and no other teams will be able to do that because right after this game, it's bang, bang, bang. High school semifinal championships.
A very balanced Wilcox County team. They like to score points, though. As you take a look at Michael Gunn, the head coach in his 17th season at Athens Academy. And then, as you can take a look at the Athens Academy stats, very much skewed toward the run. They'll throw it only when they have to. And we're underway from the Georgia Dome. And the kick by Stevens goes out of bounds. And so we'll start things off with a re-kick.
Procedure. And the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, replay the down.
Richard Gardner, your referee today. That's Casey Stevens. He's a senior for Athens Academy. He does all the kickoffs. Alfonso Dennard is back deep for the Patriots. This place is wild and loud. And the kickoff is taken by one of the upbacks. That's Willie Gibson, and Gibson returns it out to the 42-yard line. And that's where the Wilcox County Patriots will take over. As you take a look at Lorenzo Dennard, he is the quarterback. He is the fraternal twin of Alfonso Dennard, the wide receiver you probably read about. Good numbers, over 1,000, almost 2,000 yards, 22 touchdowns for the senior.
In fact, there's 6 sets of brothers on this team.
3 receivers to the right. Now the shotgun is Dennard. And the first play of the game for the Patriots will be a pass, and an incomplete one. I'm not sure who he was throwing to because there are 2 offensive linemen there.
Well, there was a missed assignment, and someone was supposed to strafe across the field and be there behind those 2 offensive linemen. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. It was set up to go. And only one problem. Nobody to catch the ball.
Well, nobody eligible there to catch the ball. As you take a look at the starting lineup for Wilcox County.
Receiver downfield. On the
offensive line.
Replay first down.
Server, Trey Clark, Colton Farrow, TJ Merritt, Victor Grace, and there are your skill positions. Watch number 1, Alfonso Dennard. He's exciting, as well as Willie Gibson, number 12. Out of the I formation, first down, and the give is in the back of the I. Antonio Marshall picks up good yardage, just short of the 50, the 48-yard line.
Some of what Athens Academy likes to do. Athens runs 80% of the time. If the Patriots can run it, they love to mix it up. They love to balance it and spread the offense.
Right, Champ, Sam Mansfield, Arnaud Aragwal, and Will Jenkins are your front 4. The linebackers, it's a good crew. Will Daniel, Evans Wellborn, and Will Calloway. The secondary of Matthews, Heath, Colquitt, and Woodruff, very opportunistic. Second down for the Patriots out of the eye, and Dennard will throw it to his brother. That's Alfonso Dennard. Gets to 2 yards. McKay Matthews there on the stop.
Boy,
Third down.
McKay was intent on making that tackle if he kept his eyes up. Watch this. He can probably intercept this ball. If he stayed upright instead of going for the legs, he might have had a chance to break that up, perhaps intercept it and go the other way.
Alfonso Dennard at 5'10", 4th down. And Athens would go for it, 4th and 1. They give it to the big fullback. He has the first down. That was Deontay LeGrier.
Boy, you have confidence in your kids when you can take it in minus yardage, almost at midfield, and go for it on 4th down in the semifinal championship game.
So the first 4th down conversion is made as you take a look at Mark Ledford. He was a quarterback for Wilcox County back in the mid-'80s.
Did some place kicking too, didn't he?
Did a little of that. Played a little defensive back. 1st and 10 for Wilcox. It's Marshall. And Marshall met after a 2-yard pickup by number 59, Will Jenkins, and help by Jeff Turner.
Will Jenkins just filled that hole. Came up and made the big happen. Big smack, and this is what Coach Gunn is talking about, the tenacity of his team and the ability to make adjustments on the fly.
Turner had him low, and Jenkins had him high. Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8. Dennard to throw, looking toward Gibson, intercepted! Intercepted by McKay Matthews. He has 4 on the year already coming into the game, and that was a huge one for Athens Academy.
And receivers should have broken off that route. In fact, the quarterback maybe shouldn't have thrown it. They're in a too deep a look here, and in fact, on the snap, they just backpedaled, so there was never any chance to get it to one receiver on the outside. That was Willie Gibson.
Look at the position Matthews had.
Yeah.
Look, and those hands. So the first big break of the game helps out at Athens Academy on 1st down. And the give is to the back of the eye. I believe that was Calloway, but he's met by Paul Grace. As you take a look at Carter Gunn, he is the quarterback, a senior. He is the nephew of head coach Michael Gunn. Outstanding stats. He's a calming influence for this team. Very much a very poised quarterback, and you expect that from a senior on the high school level, especially a relative of the coach. On the option, it's Gunn, and he'll pitch it out of bounds. Big hit as Calloway takes the pitch.
Great decision there. They were one-on-one on the outside, and he knew he had that tailback coming around for the pitch. Checks him at the last moment, gets a pitch, and they get 7 or 8 extra yards out of it.
That was LeGrier on the stop. As you take a look at the offensive line of Athens Academy, Tag Galvin, Sam Mansfield, Collins Broon, Evans Wellborn, and Will Jenkins. The skill positions, Calloway, he's a good one. McKay Matthews at the wideout, you saw him make the interception. Jeff Turner had a touchdown last year in the semifinals. That's Calloway, and LeGrier is there to meet him. And he carries the sack a little further, maybe picked up a couple of yards for the Spartans. Here's the defense for Wilcox County. Casey Server, Brown Porter, Sam Porter, and Chris Hargrove are your front 4. Your linebackers are Paul Grace, Deontay LeGrier, and Antonio Marshall. And the corners, Dennard, Nate Morehouse, Randy Denmark, and Willie Gibson.
Look at that big 36 in the middle of your picture, which you just had. 6'1", 240. Made 2 big stops so far this morning.
So Second down for Spartans. Again on the option. It's Callaway. Callaway puts on the move. Fumbles the football. Gibson has it. And it's Wilcox County football, so they get a return.
Well, there's a nice tackle on the perimeter here. Ball was stripped out definitely before his knee hit the ground and before he went down.
Well,
Paul Grace given the shot.
Athens had a
and
turnover.
Willie Gibson with the fumble recovery.
Athens had a turnover, an interception. Now a fumble by Athens Academy. Both teams perhaps a little tight to begin this Class Single A semifinal. So Wilcox in great field position at the 23-yard line. And Dennard will keep it. Now he tries to throw it, incomplete.
Show his athletic ability, being able to get that ball away like a shot putter, almost connected with his receiver. But they're going to have a tough time throwing it deep against Athens Academy because, as you notice, just before the snap, their defensive backs are backpedaling. They're not giving them anything down the field.
Pass intended for Rod Lawson. Second and 10. Fans on both sides making noise early. The pitch to Antonio Marshall. Marshall trying to turn the corner. Can't escape the grasp of number 27, Wright Shamp.
Something he'll learn as he strung it out and got wider and wider. There were two opportunities to cut it back against the grain. Didn't take him. Thought he could beat him to the outside. But when you get in these championship games, at the end of year, everybody's good. Everybody's quick. That's why everybody's here.
Take a look at number 27. Wright Shamp, a junior, 59 tackles on the year. Led the team in sacks with 8. Out of shotgun. On third down, 4 receivers. And on the draw, it's Antonio Marshall. Marshall has the first down, gets across the 10-yard line. And it'll be first and go as Matt Woodruff and Landon Heath converge to bring him down.
There's that cutback action that we were talking about. Watch this. Watch him go to the right. Now he sees downfield. There's the whoopity-doo. And he cuts it up inside. Got to have a little whoopity-doo if you're a running back.
First and goal at the 9. 4 receivers. Dennard looking in the end zone. Now he decides to throw it to Willie Gibson. Gibson will score. Touchdown, Wilcox County.
What a great cut. 3 defenders had him. He had no place to go. He should have been dropped for no gain. And he was able to split defenders and get downfield. Watch these 3 defenders have him on the outside, on the perimeter. There's 1, 2, 3. And he just cuts right between them, runs hard, legs high for the TD. Boom.
He runs a 4.40. 5'11", 175 pounds, Willie Gibson. Had 2 touchdowns against Miller County in the second round. Wilcox will go for 2. Dennard. And they'll lob it up there, incomplete. And so the try for 2 is no good. Lonnie Outlaw is the intended receiver.
Yeah, Lonnie didn't help his quarterback out. He had places to go back there, which would have bailed him out. Instead of leaving the defender on his hip, he should have wheeled and gone for the fade into the corner.
So Wilcox scores on their second possession, 6-0. Athens Academy just scored the first touchdown of the game, 6-0 over Wilcox County. John Wilkerson, Bo Buck, Scott Kozlowski here with you from the Class Single A semifinal. This is the first of 10 football games. We'll have 5 tonight for you here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. Antonio Marshall will kick it off for Wilcox County. Fielded at the 15 by James Colquitt. And Colquitt still going to the 40. Flags down. Pretty impressive return by Colquitt.
Yeah, it was. Two hard-nosed teams. You know, Coach Ledford, I guess he said to his team, if we're going to get up early, we're going to throw caution to the wind, and we're going to go for it. They went for it at midfield on 4th down. They went for a 2-point conversion after the first score. And they are, if the sheriff brings them in with lights and sirens, let's go for it, men.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Face mask on the D team. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And watching Wilcox County come in, their first trip here, I saw them when they came into the dome. I don't want to say they were loose, but they were focused, but it wasn't overwhelming to them. That was Callaway in motion, and they give it to Colquitt, and Colquitt will gain 5 yards. Oh, it's Jeff Turner.
Well, you see why Turner's been so successful this year. Look at him fight for those yards. He's quick, he's action, his elbows are going, his knees are going. He's a big, wide, broad-shouldered kid.
And this is a kid that had to wait his turn to get some playing time. You know, he got a little frustrated, but then when the opportunity presented itself, he ran through the door. And he's been so far a great fullback, a great linebacker for Athens Academy. And he's really the heart and soul of this team. Carter Gunn on the keeper. And he'll get to about the 47-yard line. Penalty flag down. He had to get to the 46 for a first down. Chris Hargrove brought him down. And another face mask on Wilcox County. There's Richard Gardner, our referee, James Henderson, Jack Henderson.
Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay it down. Oh, no. First down.
Got to give him the first down there. From the 41-yard line, first down and 10 for the Spartans of Athens Academy. Will Daniel, the backup, is in. At quarterback, Jeff Turner will get maybe a yard, and he's met by a wall of Patriot defenders. As you take a look at Will Daniel, Carter Gunn, they're working on his ankle. He had a shoulder problem earlier this year, was able, in fact, in one of the playoff games this year against Whitfield Academy, he suffered a bruised shoulder.
Got to retape him right there on the bench.
They're retaping his ankle.
Will Turner is a junior quarterback.
So Daniel's in. That's Callaway in motion. Daniel will throw his first pass and intended for Callaway, but Alfonso Dennard was there.
They had full press bump and run and one-on-one coverage outside, and then threw the ball underneath. The outside receiver came to the post, and obviously Turner's got such a strong arm that ball was on the receiver in a hurry. Could not make the adjustment. Tried to go thumbs up. You got to go pinkies up on a ball like that, John.
Third down and 9. Daniel in trouble, throws complete at the 31-yard line to McKay Matthews. McKay Matthews has always been that safety valve. When you need a big catch, he's there, and he was there again.
Will Daniel has got a strong arm. Watch this delivery. Look at that rope he puts out there. A receiver made a great adjustment of coming to the ball and taking that interception away from Wilcox County.
McKay Matthews, a junior, 23 catches on the year and a touchdown.
So this is what Coach was talking about. Our teams can make adjustments on the fly, and you saw that right there. They're doing all the little things.
So it's first down. Daniel's still in as they continue to work on Carter Gunn's ankle. And the give is to Turner, and Turner stood up at the line of scrimmage by Deontay LeGrier. Forward progress will give him about a yard.
See, with Gunn, they can run that option, and he's very effective. With Daniel, they've got the ability to throw the ball a little more prolifically.
Take a look at big 38, Jeff Turner. Scored the go-ahead touchdown last week in the quarterfinal against Brookstone. Daniel out of the shotgun on second down. He'll keep it. Then be met behind the line of scrimmage and get nowhere. Deontay LeGrier again on the stop with Chris Hargrove helping out.
Good hard-nosed football. I thought that Daniel was not going to be the runner that obviously Gunn is. But look at that, them come across the line of scrimmage, talking about Wilcox County's defensive front.
There's a player down for Wilcox County. I'm really impressed with the fact that, and we'll get to that in a minute. Deontay LeGrier is the player that's hurt, and that could be a huge loss
that is
if he
huge.
can't play.
You know, he's made already 3 or 4 stops and crushing tackles, and he's their main man on defense.
I was going to say, I've been impressed the way they've plugged up the middle. There's nothing up the middle for Athens Academy so far. And 3rd and long, Daniel being rushed, looking to throw, has nowhere to throw to. What a play by number 55. That was Trey Clark.
They had the receiver on the outside coming to the post with one-on-one coverage. Look at it here. He's looking at him. The defensive pressure flushes him, and he's got to just get rid of it. Lucky he did.
So a 4th down situation for Athens Academy. Will Daniels in there. They're going for it. Well, Wilcox made it on their first 4th down attempt of the day. And the pass is incomplete, intended for McKay Matthews, and Wilcox County will take over on downs.
Boy, a strong call for Coach Gunn, and obviously he's playing with a lot of confidence and going for it on 4th down there, not quite like going for it like Coach Ledford did at midfield. But you've got an opportunity to throw the ball in this game with the defense that Wilcox County is giving you a lot of man coverage, but they run so well, they got to the ball, and unfortunately, Daniel didn't look off that receiver, looked right at him, and he had inside coverage.
So Wilcox County will get the ball at the 31-yard line. They scored on their last possession. 4 receivers, 3 to the left. And Denner can't handle the snap. There's a penalty flag down, and he'll lose yardage on the play.
Well, he got excited when he saw his trips left and took his eye off the snap.
There is no flag.
No, that was just a marker he threw out there.
Jeff Turner there on the stop.
Well, there is a marker on the
Illegal formation
left side.
on the offense. Penalty is declined. Play 2nd down.
So legal formation on Wilcox County. You should take a look at Mark Ledford, 7th year as head coach of the Wilcox County Patriots.
You've got to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage, and you can see those receivers to the left side talking to each other. They didn't know who to move up or who to move back.
So we'll bring up a 2nd down and 13 for Wilcox County. They got to the Dome by defeating Lincoln County last week in the quarterfinals, 34-24. As a comeback win. It was the first win ever over Lincoln County in 5 tries, and it was a huge deal but back in Rochelle.
Same formation to the right side.
And the pass to Alfonso Dennard, and Alfonso Dennard will get to about the 34, brought down and forced out of bounds by McKay Matthews. So the Twins try to break a big one.
Nice running there to avoid that first tackle.
Alfonso Dennard 5'10", 190 pounds, runs a 4.4.
That was James Colquitt on the tackle, who doesn't miss many.
Dennard being rushed. Almost brought down. Is brought down. Fumbles the ball. Picked up by Athens Academy. Number 35, Hernan Aragual.
See the speed of Athens Academy?
Yeah, very fast on that one. And the penetration they got, they get to Dennard.
Yeah, because Dennard is very quick himself. You know, the first man gets to him, just clips his heel a little bit, and the second man closes, and he should have put the ball away at that time, at that point when he was scrambling for his life. He's holding it out there.
Aragual, it was McKay Matthews that forced the fumble. Daniel still in at quarterback. And we got a timeout, Wilcox County. Big break for Athens Academy as Mark Ledford bringing his defense over to calm them down. Wilcox County, they scored early in the first quarter. And now they find their defense behind the wall here, giving up a turnover. Will Daniel still in the game. The backup quarterback for Athens Academy is Carter Gunn. He's taking snaps right now. We may see him later in the game. Callaway gets the pitch, and Callaway to the 16-yard line, perhaps the 15. Chris Hargrove is there to bring him down.
Got his feet going, had happy feet there. If he made a quicker cut, he might have scored on that because there was a lane for him to run through.
You see Deontay LeGrier is also back in on defense for Wilcox County, though he's noticeable, he's limping a little bit still. Second and 5. Callaway in the back of the eye. Jeff Turner, your fullback. Turner will get the call. Big hole, but it closed quickly. And what a tackle by Paul Grace.
I believe Paul Grace was in there at middle linebacker for LeGrier. No, he was outside.
Just took the legs right out of Turner, but Turner had a huge hole to run through.
He was the will linebacker. Is LeGrier back in? Can we see? Yeah, he's back in.
3rd down and 4. On the option, and Daniel will have the first down. Antonio Marshall on the stop as we come to the end of the first quarter. 6-0 Wilcox County as we start the second quarter. As you take a look at some of the fans dressed in blue from Rochelle, and there's the Athens Academy fans. I tell you, both sides of the dome are pretty well filled on the lower side here. Both teams have brought a ton of people, and Athens Academy now threatening to score. John Wilkerson Bobach and Scott Kozlowski with you. On a first down, now it's Will Callaway trying to create some room up the middle, maybe a couple, brought down by a gang of Patriots.
Trying to muscle it up in here now and just smash mouth football. Trying to get those 6 yards and tie the score and then take the lead with the extra point.
But you know, the Patriots have given them nothing up the middle this year.
Yeah. Well, that's Mr. LeGrier. Woody bringing the wood to everybody.
That's Colquitt. Colquitt gets to the 5 and perhaps the 4. That's it. He's brought down. Looks like Dennard and Porter and LeGrier. It's a very good front 7 for Wilcox County. And they're earning their stripes here on a 3rd and goal situation.
You know, it's tough to run option down here and get wide and allow that speed to catch up with you, but you've been stymied twice up the middle. Let's see what coach comes with.
Colquitt and Turner in the backfield. McKay Matthews and Landon Heath are your receivers for Athens Academy. And Daniel looking to Matthews, wide open, touchdown, Spartans! McKay Matthews with his second touchdown of the year, and we're tied.
Great design on that play. You know, he was just wide open because, you know, third down, third and goal, Wilcox County didn't think that Athens was going to throw the ball.
Mark Allen in for the extra point. He kicked a big one last week in the quarterfinals. And it's 7-6, Athens Academy.
Slipped it inside that left upright.
The junior, McKay Matthews, with a clutch hand, a great move in the end zone, wide open. And Bo, this is all McKay Matthews.
Yep. Came up the middle and slid outside, and they didn't check him. They were looking run, run, run all the way. And ran that fade to the corner. And a nice throw, too.
Great throw by Will Daniel, who's come in as a backup and has really led the Spartans down to that scoring drive and has done a good job. So you take a look at McKay Matthews. 6 plays, 81 yards, about 3 minutes of time as we begin the second quarter. McKay Matthews, a 4.0 GPA. He's also on the student council at Athens Academy.
And only a junior.
Only a junior, but very soft hands. So Casey Stevens will kick it off. Willie Gibson and David Grace are back deep. Taken by Alfonso Dennard. Dennard's got an alley. Dennard's in midfield. Lowers the shoulders, out of bounds. McKay Matthews, who's all over the field, forced him out of bounds.
Almost like the hidden ball trick on that return. It was a short kick. It was almost like a mortar, a little more line drive than that. And he came up, hid behind his big blockers, and then saw that there was breathing room to the outside, sprung outside, and had a big gainer.
So great field position inside Spartan territory on the kickoff at the 44. Under center is Lorenzo Dennard. And the pitch is to Marshall. I'm sorry, it's David Grace. And Grace, who has 4.3 speed, tried to get it outside. He'll be brought down to shore the first down to the 38-yard line.
Just a toss sweep here. And he's look at his eyes downfield, looking to make the cut. Decides to use his speed to get outside.
Grace had 130 yards earlier in the year and 2 touchdowns against Dooley County. He transferred in mid-season from Hawkinsville. See, Antonio Marshall is checked in now in the back of the eye. It's Marshall as a hole and gets down to about the 30-yard line. Landon Heath was there initially to bring him down.
Wow, you're right, John, about the speed of this game. You just saw him glide. What a nice stride he has. Watch this to the left side. Great block, double team, tackle and guard on the defensive tackle.
Oh, he just hit that hole with the first quick step. As you take a look at Antonio Marshall, he runs a 4.5 40, the only 1,000-yard rusher on the team. So first down, David Grace is in the back of the eye. For the Patriots, he gets the pitch, able to make something out of nothing, gets about the 33, 32-yard line.
Really had him dead to rights for a 4-yard loss right there, and then was able to stutter step inside. Watch this right here. They've got him, boom, puts the brakes on, and then one more step, and he's again at full speed right after that.
So Wilcox County has done a good job, as you take a look at David Grace, establishing the run on this drive. And it looks like they're interchangeable parts between Grace and Antonio Marshall. Marshall in the back of the eye this time. Why not? Go back to the run. It's Marshall. He pops it outside. Needs a move, but tried to escape. McKay Matthews did. Just slowed him up enough, and then Jeff Turner finished him off.
Tried to get a block from his wide receiver, and if he had stepped a little bit there, might have given his wide receiver a little more of an angle, a little more opportunity and time. See if we can see it out right there. No, out there is where the wide receiver could not make that block on the corner.
Antonio Marshall, just over 1,000 yards on the year and 14 touchdowns. And he'll stay in the back of the eye on 3rd down, and they'll give it to him again. Tries it up the middle, just short of the 20. Had to get to the 20 for the 1st down. Jeff Turner on the stop.
We love the way Athens Academy fights. You know, they battle you for everything. You need to just fight like crazy to get a yard against these guys. When we talk about Wilcox County speed, well, Athens Academy is right there with them.
Well, they didn't get a real favorable mark because they're just short of the 20, and they'll be 4th and inches. They've gone to the eye back every time on this drive. So they'll get the big fullback. That's LeGrier, and LeGrier stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He won't get it. A huge stop by the Spartan defense.
Stymied by the Spartan defense who loaded up the middle of the defensive front. Look at them come. Here they come with a blitz. Just enough in the middle to slow them down and make them go wide. Then here comes that Athens Academy pursuit.
Look at that penetration. I couldn't catch the number there by the defensive lineman, but he's the one that really stymied everything.
And the ball carrier was their defensive stalwart, LeGrier.
Daniel still in a quarterback for Athens Academy on 1st and 10. They'll give it to Turner, and Turner will pick up about 6. LeGrier in on the stop.
Think about what Athens Academy did on that last drive. We talked about the cornerback refusing to be denied outside and made the tackle on what looked to be a long gainer. Then coming back, they come with LeGrier, who's that big romper stomper, 240 pounds, runs a 4.4, and they stuff him. Really nice stuff.
That was impressive. Boy, you feel that Uncle Mo swinging over to Athens Academy after that touchdown. Momentum clearly on their side. It's Callaway. Callaway trying to bust it outside. Met initially by Nate Morehouse. He'll pick up a couple and a player down for Wilcox County. It's Chris Hargrove, the junior defensive lineman. It's 7-6 Athens Academy in the 2nd quarter. We got more from the Georgia Dome coming up after this. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. It's 7-6 Athens Academy. They've got the ball. Take a look at the Spartan fans. They're enjoying this.
I like those hats.
I like the face paint. Look at that.
Hats.
They got up early to do that. Oh, look at the green hair. Happy Spartan fans.
Yeah, great cheer. Woo, woo, woo. Classic.
Here we go. 3rd down. And they'll give it to Colquitt. Colquitt spun and hit behind the line. Antonio Marshall with the big play.
Great diagnosis by Marshall. Didn't go for the fake, stood his ground, and made a great play. He's going to be over here. Doesn't go inside. Sees that pitch coming.
And Wilcox County needed that too. They needed to grab a little momentum themselves on defense. As Landon Heath will punt for Athens Academy. He's a junior. Races back deep, almost blocked.
That's the reason for the short kick, John. That pressure from the right side of the defense.
And Wilcox County will get it just at the 49-yard line. So good field position for them. You take a look at the coach and quarterback. Mark Ledford, a quarterback himself in the mid-80s. Talking to his current quarterback, Lorenzo Dennard. 6'2" and 190. So it's first down at 49 for Wilcox County. Success running the ball in the last possession. They'll keep running the ball with Antonio Marshall. He certainly likes that left side. Big pickup for Marshall all the way to the 31-yard line. Evans Wilborn on the stop, a 19-yard pickup.
Yeah, great block. You know, we talked about blocking on the left side of the perimeter. And watch this block. Watch the, here comes the toss sweep left. Number 32 just wipes out that cornerback. That was Brian Porter. Here it is again. Boom! And great pace. Great pace by Marshall to allow him to make that block. He slowed down, set up the tacklers to the blocker, take him out.
David Grace down the back of the eye as Marshall will get a rest. And Dennard's finally going to throw. He's looking for his brother. He's got it. To the touchdown. Alfonso Dennard, 30 yards. That was pretty.
Great example of prestidigitation. They had one receiver. And look, run all the way. They had man coverage on the outside. And just a great job of executing.
Alfonso Dennard makes his presence known here at the Georgia Dome. He had 7 touchdowns on the year. That's number 8. And Wilcox County is back up top, 12-7. They go for 2. Now the shotgun. Right next to him is Antonio Marshall. Looking for the end zone. Now he'll run it himself. Did he get in?
I fumbled the ball.
No. And so the 2-point try. They're 0 for 2 on 2-point conversions. And it's 12-7, Wilcox County. But again, another impressive drive. A perfect example of the run setting up the pass.
Watch this slobber knocker football from Athens Academy. Boom.
Here's a touchdown pass again.
Puts a lot of air under it.
And with Dennard having the presence to know when that white stripe was coming.
Don't step on the white. Isn't that the idea, John?
That's the idea. You want to get in the end zone. You want to score 6 points. But again, a classic example of the run setting up the pass.
And as I said, that formation only had one receiver, and that was Lorenzo.
Lorenzo Dennard? Or Alfonso Dennard? Well, that's Lorenzo. They're fraternal twins, and I still can't tell who they are.
Well, remember, I said at the top, Coach told me, he said, I think it's very unusual. We have 6 sets of brothers on this team.
Chris Hargrove to kick off. That's taken by McKay Matthews. And Matthews, who's had a big first half, returns that kick to the 34-yard line. And he's coming up a little shaken. Looks like he's going to shake it off, though. He's a tough kid. Will Daniel will stay in at quarterback. The backup, he came in midway through the first quarter. Carter Gunn, last we saw, was having his ankle taped, and he hasn't been back in the game since. But Daniel's done a good job. He's continued to tape the ankle of Carter Gunn. Or ice the ankle as Will Callaway to the 40-yard line.
Callaway shows great feet in traffic there, made itty-bitty cuts, looked a little bit like William Andrews, the way he used to from the Falcons, make those great cuts. It was almost as if he was on rails. He could go sideways without losing any speed. You know, kids get to this game, John, and there's so much excitement. They're so pumped up normally, but you get on this field and you feel faster, and quite frankly, you are faster and you play that way.
Give it to the first back through. That's Jeff Turner, and Turner will have the first down. Putting on the spot, he had to get to the 43, and he's got the first down. Jeff Turner, a senior, 763 yards on the year, 11 touchdowns. He scored both touchdowns. In fact, he scored the go-ahead touchdown with 1:28 in the game in the fourth quarter in the quarterfinal against Brookstone to put Athens here in the Georgia Dome for the second straight year. Callaway in the back of the eye. Landon Heath in motion. Here's Callaway looking for a running room. He's found it. 40 to the 35-yard line. Randy Denmark saved the touchdown.
Great blocking by the Athens Academy line of scrimmage. They just sealed him in. Watch this on the right-hand side. Come across, kick out that number 52. Came down and kicked out, and he found that crease.
Callaway is senior, 1,300 yards on the year, 16 touchdowns. Had a 3-touchdown performance in the first round against Tryon. He'll get a rest as Colquitt comes in. He'll get the pitch. Colquitt, he'll maybe get 2 yards. Good job by the defense of the Patriots. Casey Surser on the stop. They'll give him about a yard, and that's about it.
You know, we talked about the differences in these two teams, and I think it's apparent to everybody now. You know, one team is faster, one team is bigger.
And right now, Athens Academy is recapturing some momentum they lost after that Patriot touchdown earlier. Turner, he rumbles and stumbles his way across the 35 to about the 34. Brought down by a bunch of Patriots.
Patriots came with a run blitz that time, and the maneuver just missed, dropping the ball carrier for a loss.
We're coming toward the end of the second quarter. 12-7, Wilcox County over Athens Academy. It's been an entertaining first half from the Georgia Dome. Again, one of 5 football games today here on GPB. And Daniel to throw. It's complete and dropped by Turner. He had it in his hands, but when he tried to bring it in, it slipped through his hands.
That's the second time Athens Academy has run that pass route. First time they had big success with it, huge success with it, and this time I think they just were able to diagnose it and realized it and saw it coming and snuffed it out.
And a timeout by Athens Academy. They face a 4th down conversion.
4th and long with 1:51 to go.
Michael Gunn, the head coach of Athens Academy in his 17th season at the helm. But, you know, he enjoys coaching, he loves the kids, and this is what he feels is special about coaching high school football.
Well, I think the group we graduated last year, we had a great senior core last year that graduated, and I think the expectations for this year were not as high as they were last year going into the season. And this group went through their struggles during the middle of the season, and I think the last 5 or 6 games we've kind of come into our own, and we've continued to improve the last 5 or 6 games, and I'm proud of where we are. This senior group has done a great job of leading, and the juniors are following right suit, so we have some good team leadership, and we've got great team chemistry.
He really enjoys coaching this 2007 edition of the Spartans.
You know, I really got that feeling when he spoke with me and said, you know, we've got some good students who make adjustments on the fly. And you can see that tonight, or rather this morning, tonight.
Bo, did you know that Coach Gunn also teaches trigonometry?
No kidding.
So he can tell you what a play is and also show you the equation why it works.
Wow.
4th down, and Daniel looking toward Matthews and Heath. And it's incomplete. That was Callaway. It went through his hands, and the Patriots will take over on downs.
That's what he calls his hypotenuse play.
So Athens Academy fails to convert on 4th down as we're under 2 here in the first half. Lorenzo Dennard, already a touchdown pass today. He'll be out of the shotgun. High snap, able to control it. Looking downfield, incomplete. There were 2 receivers there, Joe James and Willie Gibson.
And 3 defenders. I think he waited too long. He should have maybe pulled that down and tried to get what he could on the ground. But everything is single covered, but you know, at this level, quarterbacks don't really look off the intended receiver so well, so defenders converge there, and he threw it into traffic.
Four wideouts. Marshall in the backfield. Marshall will get the call. Big hole. Marshall. First down. To the almost to midfield. Boy, is he having a first half. Colquitt and Wellborn on the stop.
Show the same spread formation with 4 wide receivers. Open up the holes and then give it to your running back. And he does a nice job at the end of that run.
15-yard pickup by the junior. He's already got 71 yards on the day. First and 10. Patriots threatening to score before halftime. Going for the home run to Gibson. He's got it.
What a throw. What a throw.
McKay Matthews there on the coverage, but a huge pickup for the Wilcox County Patriots with a minute to go until halftime.
Watch this
38
coverage.
yards.
Watch the coverage. Not much room to drop this in. He just unloads it and throws it like he's throwing it into a rain barrel. Just brings it right down on the receiver. And great concentration at the end of that throw.
Second catch on the day for Gibson for 47 yards. And Dennard, Lorenzo Dennard, is nearing 100 yards in passing. That's Antonio Marshall, and Marshall will score a touchdown. There is a penalty flag down. So check the flag before you put points on the board. And it's a hold against Wilcox County. A break for Athens Academy.
Holding on the offense. Repeat first down.
Well, that really is a break, Gus, with 56 seconds to go, 55 seconds to go, and you're already up by 5 rather. You can tell I didn't teach trig.
I can tell. I'm never
56,
good with numbers
55,
either.
6, 5.
Dennard out to Grace. And Grace looking for running room. Nice move. Over the shoulder. Another flag down. They'll mark him at the 19, but
Alonzo Dennard came back and put a crushing block, and they may call it block in the back. That may be the call there. But he came from the backside and was able to wipe out a defender. Yeah.
illegal block in the back. And 2 straight penalties by Wilcox County. It's cost them a touchdown, now cost them a good game. Doesn't make Mark Ledford happy.
Block in the back on the offense. Repeat first down.
So first and forever for Wilcox County. 45 seconds to go. Clock running. Dennard setting up a screen for Willie Gibson, and Gibson on the clear. Gibson to the 2. McKay Matthews saved the touchdown.
Great design on the screen and great running. Just setting up his blockers downfield, just an intuitive run, great run, tough run. Too bad he didn't score because, they may be running out of time if Athens Academy stiffens. Watch this block out here. And then turns it up. They had one receiver to the left side, and he came inside and became a blocker. It was just a great design.
5-yard face mask on the defense.
So a face mask on Athens Academy. Go half the distance to the goal, so they'll have first and goal at the 1 with 28 seconds to go before halftime. Wilcox trying for a 2-touchdown lead. Heading into the locker room. Marshall. Easy touchdown for Antonio Marshall. And Wilcox County has made a statement in the second quarter.
With that kind of speed, you might as well go outside. Athens Academy looking to take away the middle of the field, and great blocking on the perimeter.
Antonio Marshall, the lone 1,000-yard rusher on this team. Just a junior. And Wilcox County will go for 2. Marshall on the back of the eye. Who else will get it? But Antonio Marshall running to the flag. Touchdown. 2-point conversion.
John, if it works once, it might work twice.
It might work again.
Let's come back with that same toss sweep.
If Athens Academy isn't going to stop it, might as well. Look at that block by Boone Porter. And the fans who made the trip up from Rochelle, Georgia, about a 2-hour drive down to middle Georgia. They're very happy. Bo, I got something you and I can do the Saturday before Mother's Day.
Oh.
Why don't we go down to Rochelle and check out the Wild Hog Festival? That's a big deal down there in Wilcox
kidding.
County.
Well, I've been meaning to do that. I want to do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
We are there. They do it every Saturday annually before Mother's Day down in Rochelle. And the fans wearing the blue sweatshirts and jackets are making some noise. The first trip to the Dome ever for this program. And flags down.
Side offside.
So we'll kick it again, this time from the 35.
Makes it so much easier when you have a kicker in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're tough to find.
They are tough to find.
That's why Wilcox County has been going to 2-point conversions. And
that's the benefit of a soccer team, too. You can find a soccer player.
Yeah.
Hargrove the kick. And again, a little squiver is taken by Colquitt. And Colquitt has nowhere to run. Oh, they're a fired up bunch of Patriots. He'll get it to about the 36-yard line. And Athens Academy will have 17 seconds to try to set something up and answer Wilcox County's touchdown.
Be interesting to see how Coach Gunn plays it, whether he wants to go for something here, and I'm sure he doesn't want to risk anything, so they may just play it very conservatively, go in with this 13-point deficit and regroup and come after him in the second half.
Will Callaway is the lone back in the backfield. Double tight end. Daniel will throw the ball. Looking toward McKay Matthews, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete.
Well, Coach did go for it. And Athens Academy will have the ball to begin the third quarter.
I gotta think you're taking a little bit of a risk there because you're in with the backup quarterback.
It's a risky game, John.
That's true. Well, I'm thinking injury, too.
Can't think like that.
Yeah, well. Daniel will take a knee, and we'll go to the locker room, 20-7. If you take a look at Will Daniel, took over early or midway through the first quarter after the injury to Carter Gunn. Michael Gunn has some regrouping to do. A good first half for the Patriots of Wilcox County. They say, go Big Blue, and we say, go down to Scott Kozlowski.
Thank you, John. I'm here with Coach Ledford. Coach, big score right before the half, up to 20-7 at halftime. What do you tell your kids?
I'm happy where we are right now. We're making too many mistakes, too many penalties. We've got to cut down on that. We've got to control the ball more. We got a few kids banged up right now. We got to get them taken care of and get back in the game.
Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
John, back to you.
20-7, Wilcox County leads Athens Academy here at halftime. It's been a tough physical ball game right here at the Georgia Dome as we kick off our weekend of high school football with the Class Single A state semifinal. While we're at halftime, we're going to let you take a look at a video here from a flashback of Tanya Butler. Enjoy.
Clayton County at that time was very competitive to have fans because we had 7 major high schools in the area. So all of a sudden we started winning and people came out of the woodwork to see us play. So we were packing out houses the whole time, and it was just very upbeat. We would go into restaurants and people would cheer, and we were just little local celebrities, and it was just very exciting, and just tons of support from the faculty, the staff, the community, and it was a very fun experience. I get cold chills just thinking about that game, and even though we did lose, but it was a very intense, it was a great matchup. We really went head-to-head the whole game. We got on the board first with a touchdown, and then they quickly responded with a long field goal, and then we had a touchdown and had momentum going into the half, but unfortunately they made some pretty good adjustments at the half, scored 2 touchdowns back-to-back, and then their defense held us scoreless the second half. So it was kind of upsetting. It was one of the gut-wrenching moments, just because it was the end of a Cinderella season. But all in all, it was an amazing experience. I just want to take the time to say thank you to Georgia Public Broadcasting, the Georgia High School Association, volunteers, everyone that pretty much organizes this event, because I don't think you guys realize what an impact it is for these athletes and everyone involved. It creates lifetime memories and just gives the average athlete something to take home with them, gives them a little bit of glimpse of what it's like to be a professional athlete. Currently, I am an IT recruiting consultant for Cox Communications. It's a very fun job. I get to interact with people all day long and also get to learn cutting-edge technology. So I find it very fulfilling, but still waiting on that NFL call, by the way.
Hard to believe it's been that long since Tanya Butler kicked field goals here at the Georgia Dome. We're at halftime. It's 20-7. Wilcox County leading Athens Academy. Let's go down to the field. Scott Kozlowski.
Thank you very much, John. I'm here with a couple of special guests from Wilcox County. We have Athletic Director Donnie Clack and Principal Arnie Bryant. First of all, I want to ask you, you were telling me that you've never been to a state championship game in 52 years, and you've got a chance to get here today. What does it mean to you?
That's correct. It's very exciting. We have played in 4 Final Fours up to this year, but we just never been get by Lincoln and Clinch in the past years. And '89 was the last time we made it to the Final Four. And we just had an exciting year, and if the team can win today, they'll break the school record with the 13th win. If they can win today, they'll break the record by making the championship game.
Principal Bryant, I was looking at your crowd for a 9 a.m. Friday game. People had to travel. You got a lot of support. Tell me about the support in your community.
Well, we've had tremendous support, and we're well pleased with it. We've had local churches to volunteer to feed, to do whatever they can to support the athletic program with the football team and the position that they're in at this time. The local banks have pitched in and they've donated financially. A lot of the local businessmen have donated financially, and we just never had this much support, and we're really enjoying it.
I understand, as a side note, that you used to coach under Coach Clack, and now you're the principal of the high school. Tell me what that experience has been like.
Right. That's kind of an ironic twist that I will be here today as the principal. Approximately 20 years ago, I started out in education, and I started out as a teacher in Abbeville Elementary, which is in Wilcox County. And I started out coaching under Donnie Clack with the football program. And it's kind of a rewarding experience to come back and be an administrator and see some of the players' sons that I coached years ago. Their sons are now playing on the team. So that's exciting.
Tell me about what you're going to expect here in the second half of this one.
Well, we in good position, and certainly we hope to come out, and we've been a second half team pretty much all year, and we're in great position. I just hope we can come out. We got the kickoff to Athens Academy, and I just hope we can keep them from sustaining a drive early and then maybe take the ball and kill some clock. But we're in great position. We just got 24 minutes to play.
Tell me a little bit about the academics at Wilcox County and what's happening there.
All right, we just received an award on last year from the governor's office, and it was a bronze award. And we received that award because we stayed off the needs improvement list as far as adequate yearly progress. And also, we had students to score exceedingly well. At least 20% of the students who took the graduation test last year exceeded in all parts of the test. And also, we scored in the 95th percentile across the state as far as the student achievement gain. So we were really excited about that. The governor's office sent us a banner about a month and a half ago, and we are flying that banner just as high as we are flying the region championship football banners and all other banners. So we are proud of what we're doing there at Wilcox County High School.
Well, congratulations on both counts, and good luck to you guys in the second half. Thanks for joining us. Let's go back up to the booth to John.
Thank you, Scott. Coach Clack always still coaching, even though he's now athletic director.
Yeah.
You know, Wilcox County and Athens Academy, to me, are a couple of great examples of what high school football means to communities and means around the school.
Well, without a doubt, you see the great crowd that has traveled here today. And, you know, one thing about the athletic director saying we never could get by Lincoln. Well, they got by Lincoln County last week despite being down 21-0, and they roared back, and we see them roaring back against Athens Academy here today and just putting it on. They were talking about the second half. Well, this team looks like they're poised for the second half. But Athens Academy, like Coach said, like Coach Gunn told us, they make adjustments on the fly. They're smart. They, too, are fast, and they're a tough bunch.
Looking forward to the second half. We're also looking forward to, hey, we're back at the Georgia Dome, halftime, 20-7. Wilcox County leading Athens Academy here at the Georgia Dome, the Class Single A state semifinal. And let's go down the field and check out what Scott Kozlowski's got going on. Scott?
Thank you very much, John. Now I'm with some special guests from Athens Academy, and with me now is Mixon Robinson, who is a former graduate of Athens Academy and now finds himself as an assistant coach for the team. What's it like to be back playing in the Dome as an assistant coach rather than a player?
Well, it's it's a real honor to be here on the other side of the sidelines, I guess. But I'm proud to be part of the tradition that Athens Academy football has become, and some of the coaches that I played under are still here, and some of the guys that were here, we had a water boy that's a wide receiver, Matt Woodruff. So it's great to see these guys grow up, and they've worked real hard and having a good season. So
fantastic. Well, I'll let you get back to the locker room to talk to the team. And now to my right, we've got a couple more students from Athens Academy. This is Ruby Lai and Gerard Cole, and they're involved with the webcast at Athens Academy, which has become a pretty good deal. Tell me about it.
Well, it started in 2001. The Media and Technology Club at our school did the first webcast, one of the first ones for the high school in the country. The New Media Institute at UGA got us set up for that first webcast. We got 60 viewers. This was in 2001. We got 60 viewers, crashed the server, and it's really just progressed from there.
Tell me about this year, and I guess your people that are watching you has grown.
Well, it's been really exciting to work with the technical side of Media Tech, and we've made so many improvements from when we first started. So for instance, this year we added we went to away games, and we've done instant replay, and our viewer count has just soared up. Last game we had over 1,400 viewers.
Well, that is really cool. Thank you guys both. Now, off to my left, we've got a couple more students. We have Lindsay Barrett and Sydney Sanders. Now, I understand that at Athens Academy, community service is a big part of it. What are you guys involved in?
Well, it's really important to us. I know students at Athens Academy help out in the community. We do things like habitat builds and tutoring and local visits to the senior daycare center. And out of the 310 students, we've had like almost 10,000 service hours this past year. So it's just really important to all the students as a whole.
Yes, and it's not just the students. I mean, the teachers and the parents play a huge role in this too. Coach Gunn, for example, he coaches the football team and is head of the Special Olympics efforts, and Lindsay and I are the student leaders. So we organize the approximately 700 kids into their activities, and it can be a bit stressful, but it's just so gratifying seeing how happy it makes them, and we just really try to delve into service as much as possible.
Yeah, tell me how fulfilling that is to, help the community out. What do you get out of it?
I mean, it's an awesome experience just to see the smiles on the kids' faces, or just to see how grateful everyone is that you're helping them. It's just so awesome.
That is very cool. Thank you all very much for joining us. John, let's go back up to you.
And thank you, Scott. Back when I was in school, it was no webcasting. It was pencils and notebooks.
Oh, I know. Gosh, and we were, it was leather helmets.
Well, I had the shell in the face
mask. It was different.
Let's show you another football flashback. This one's on Larry Jester. Enjoy.
It was a dream and a vision that we had. We started selling this dream from day one. And our goal at Clarkston High School, everything we did was to win a state championship. You win a state championship, if you fall short of having the opportunity to play for that state championship, you will have an opportunity to be televised with GPB TV throughout the state of Georgia and play in the Georgia Dome. That's something that a lot of kids will play football in this state and would never have that opportunity. Great experience. Some of my coaches, we had coaches on the staff that were from out of state that was here in the state of Georgia. Had first time that they have ever been down to the Georgia Dome. It's a difference when you sit and watch the game on TV and actually walk into the dome itself, and it's even more exciting than when you come out of that tunnel knowing that all eyes will be on you. It was great. Burke had the ball first and goal on the 1. We stopped him. We stopped him, and then we get the ball coming out on the 1, on our own 1. With a couple minutes before halftime, we rolled up, we marched down the field. We scored right before Halftime, we go for a 2-point conversion. We get it. We go up 8-0. And we felt that if we could go up 8-0, then the game was all to lose. In the second half, Burke County had a great football team. I mean, you don't get to that level and not play great football. And but the second half, we made some cognitive mistakes that eventually end up costing us football game. Some kind of way, the kids can walk away when the instant pain of losing that ball game is gone. I still believe in looking in the eyes of those young men that they still felt that they had something that regardless of what situation, they'll always have for the rest of their life.
Great piece on Larry Gestures. We're at halftime, 20-7. Wilcox County leading Athens Academy. And let's show you some of the highlights from the first half of action here at the Georgia Dome in the Class A semifinal. We begin with the first touchdown of the game for Wilcox County. Willie Gibson takes the catch. It was a great play, Bo.
Yeah, it sure was. They cleared it out. Made a great cut inside to get in the clear.
That made it 6-0, and then Will Daniel, the backup quarterback, came in midway through the first quarter. Right at the beginning of the second quarter, he found McKay Matthews wide open.
And that was a great call. We talked about players, quarterbacks locking onto receivers. That time he did not.
Back came the Patriots, the dinner combination, and it was 12-7.
What a nice throw. That was man coverage, and little Dennard was able to get out there and score the TD.
And then right before halftime, Antonio Marshall, what a huge first half he had for Wilcox County.
And, you know, Wilcox County's speed is starting really now to surface, and we're hoping Athens Academy can come out here, and here's the conversion, the same play. Athens Academy can come out here and just turn it up a notch. And
who else but Antonio Marshall? Here are the stats, and pretty much the pass yards, and pretty much skewed over to the Athens Academy, but very balanced in the rushing. And total yards, Antonio Marshall, 10 rushes, 72 yards, and a touchdown, as Wilcox leads 20-7 over Athens Academy.
See, I think Wilcox County with only 15 passing yards, that's kind of strange because they've thrown it a lot more, and I thought that one connection to Dennard would have upped that total a little bit. With the rushing yards, we're going to see a lot of rushing in the second half by both teams, that both teams can pile up the yards.
Both teams want to go to the state title game. We'll see who will as we start the third quarter after this. 20-7, Wilcox County leading Athens Academy as we get ready to start the third quarter. You take a look at the Spartans, still got some work to do. They came to the Dome by defeating Tryon in the first round. Whitfield Academy 21-7 in the second round. In the quarterfinals, a late touchdown by Jeff Turner, and it was 14-13 Athens Academy over Brookstone, and that's how they got to the Georgia Dome. They had an earlier touchdown in the second quarter, and for their only score is Wilcox County. Their trip to the Dome went like this: a huge win over Chattahoochee County, over Miller County and Lincoln County, and Scott Kozlowski, it's all yours.
So, Coach, find yourself down by 13 at the half. What'd you tell your kids at halftime, and what are you going to have to do in the second half?
Well, we get the ball first, and I just asked them to come out and fight. You know, that's what we've done all year. We've had halves where we played poorly in the first half and came back out and played well in the second half, and that's just what I hope we can come out and play well in the second half.
Well, best of luck in the second half, Coach. John, back to you.
And they will come out and fight, John. And the thrill of playing in the Dome, and imagine these kids pulling up this morning in the wee hours, approximately getting here about 6:30. You look at the bus windows, and there's 4 ESPN TV trucks, 4 ESPN tents. You come in here on this beautiful, fast, magical turf, and there's GHSA right in the middle of the field. The Falcons and Saints are going to play here Monday night. I mean, it's a thrill for kids to play here, so they're going to come out and fight. This game will go down to the end.
So Tirico and Kornheiser and Jaworski, aren't they going to come up and replace us in the course of the game, will they?
I don't think they could.
I don't think they could either.
I don't think they could.
Let's give some props also to Will Daniel. Came in midway through the first quarter. You were mentioning all the things about this atmosphere. He's thrust upon the stage, and he's performed magnificently. Antonio Marshall to kick off. James Colquitt back deep. Colquitt will field it at the 13. And Colquitt, nice return to the 31-yard line. Paul Grace on the tackle. If you take a look at Will Daniel, the backup quarterback, he's a junior, and he's come in and led them to their first score, and he's actually performed magnificently for this team.
Yeah, throws a nice ball. Really's got a great throwing motion. Ball comes out there in a tight spiral, and he's got the ability to wing it around a little bit, I think.
Only 2 for 8 for 15 yards, but...
details.
Well, I was going to say, he's had a lot of white jerseys in his path. First down and 10. And Turner up the middle, and they're trying to soften up that middle of Wilcox County. He'll pick up about 6 yards. Paul Grace on the tackle. So what are the keys now for Athens Academy on offense as we get in the second half, Bo?
Well, the keys are don't turn it over, first of all. You're down 13. Second of all is control the clock, move the sticks, and just get one more score, and you're in this game. Then you've got the whole second half to take care of business.
Michael Gunn would feel a lot comfortable if the Spartans can get a score, especially a touchdown, on this possession to begin the second half. And Daniel to throw. Beautiful pass to Wright Shamp. And Shamp, the tight end, gets to the 36-yard line. A big gainer for the Spartans.
Nice play, nice design, play action pass, and just a beautiful little throw. You know, it just slips out, does the tight end. And he was over there on single coverage, came inside, thought he was getting help inside, did the defender, but he was not.
27-yard pickup by Shamp, the junior tight end. Callaway in the back of the eye. He'll get the call. Big hole for Callaway, and he gets to the 30, the 29-yard line, about 3 yards short of the first down. Antonio Marshall on the stop.
The thing when he saw that wide open receiver, there was no panic. He didn't overthrow it, and they're just, you can see they're settled down. They seem to be focused. Coach did a good job at halftime talking to this Athens Academy squad.
Callaway already was 66 yards on the day for the Spartans. 3 wideouts. Daniel checking at the line. On the option, he'll keep it. Trying to fight hard for a first down. May have done it.
I think he did.
Had to get just past the 32, and he did. First down for the Spartans. A good hard-nosed run by the junior quarterback.
Nice choice. Saw the opening there and took it and put his head down and fought for that last extra yards. Watch this. Sees it, boom, decides to go. He knew that his running back was defense to the outside. No use giving it to him. Make the most he could with the ball.
So the Spartans come out with a spark. First and 10. Landon Heath in motion. It's Callaway, and Callaway cuts right into Deontay LeGrier and was able to crawl for extra yardage.
So what really do with that play is cut against the grain. When you bring your wide receiver across the formation, you cause the linebackers to slide, and then you come back against that grain and hopefully break something.
This is the Athens Academy's only second trip to the semifinals. They've never been to the state championship game. They know what the task at hand. On the option, the pitch to Callaway on the ground, but he picks it up and able to get back to the line of scrimmage. That could have been disastrous, Bo.
Yeah, that reference point was too close. You have to keep a 5-yard gap, 4 to 5 yards between the quarterback and the running back, and you see how narrow that gets, and that way you can't put the ball out there and let him run onto it, and you just inevitably throw that ball too hard.
Junior quarterback Will Daniel doing a good job. Came in midway through the first quarter. Now driving the Spartans to another score. On third down, Poise looking to throw. He's got Colquitt, and he's just leveled Randy Denmark.
Almost a great catch. And a great throw under pressure. It was against the blitz from Wilcox County. Watch it. It's going to come from the quarterback's left side. Here comes the blitz. It goes up, and if it not for that tackle, that's completed on the 2-yard line. That was Randy Denmark.
Puts the helmet right in the midsection. Beautiful hit by Denmark. And the Spartans going for it on 4th down. There's Carter Gunn on the sidelines warming up. He had his ankle iced. You can see the big brace on that ankle. See him get back into the game, but Daniel on 4th down, it's on his shoulders right now. And there'll be a penalty on the Spartans for delay of game.
Boy, that hurts.
Dead ball penalty, delay of game on the offense.
So they'll back them up 5.
See what kind of defense Wilcox County plays now. Athens Academy almost has to throw it.
It's 4th and 13. Out of the shotgun is Daniel. 4 wideouts to the left side of the field. Daniel looking toward Colquitt. Not out of bounds, not intercepted by Willie Gibson. Doesn't matter though. The ball could be turned over on downs.
Great route. It was an out and up. It almost was a great throw. He had a great throw in the play prior to this, which the receiver dropped. When you saw the out and then you saw the receiver turn upfield, and if not for the speed, the makeup speed of Wilcox County, that's a completion in the touchdown.
So the Athens Academy had a drive going. It stalls at the 28-yard line. Any kind of psychological effect, Bo?
It's too early in the second half to take anything away. These kids still believe.
The pitch to Antonio Marshall. Marshall looking for a hole. Strung out the defense. He's not getting anywhere. He actually lost a couple of yards. And a ton of Athens Academy kids were there.
It's psychological, all right. It fired him up, John.
There's Colquitt. He was in on the tackle.
See, they had some momentum on offense. And now, if Athens Academy can stop them here, what Coach Ledford's got to do, he's got to move the ball a little bit here. He's got to take away that offensive momentum that Athens Academy came out of the locker room with.
And you see those Spartans fly into the ball. Out of the shotgun. Give is to Gibson, and Gibson brought down by Colquitt. Perhaps a 2-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and long.
See, this aggressiveness is carried over. Easier to display that on defense than offense. But offense, you know, they had the potential to make 2 big plays on that last drive and get right back in this game. And defense isn't down about it at all. If anything, they want to get this ball back for their offense.
Big number 27, Wright Champ there on a great open field tackle. And the Spartans would like to keep 3rd and long on this Patriot defense. Dennard looking to throw. Callaway's there. Throws off his heels, and it's caught. It was tipped. Caught by Joe James. And James, oh, what a lucky break for the Wilcox County Patriots. It was tipped by Landon Heath. Looked like he had an interception. Instead, it falls into the hands of Joe James, and it's a big pickup for the Patriots.
That was like a slow motion.
54 yards.
Slow motion train wreck. You know, you see the quarterback never should have thrown it. You knew, you had defenders out there. The defender shouldn't have let it slip through his fingers. It was just unbelievable. Look at the pressure he was under, to make that throw, and then not to make the interception, and then to break away for an additional 20 yards. That's a heartbreaker right there, especially when your defense has stuffed them up until this point.
So a gift for the Patriots on 1st down and 10 from the 19. That's Antonio Marshall. Marshall will get to the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. Will Jenkins was there to finally bring him down. That's almost could be demoralizing, but you hate to say that this early in the second half.
Well, it would be if we haven't seen so much mental toughness from Athens Academy so far.
5-yard pickup, bring up 2nd down and 5.
These kids think they can pick it off or recover a fumble and go the other way for 90 yards.
Dennard, who already has 145 yards passing today, finds his brother Alfonso Dennard. He'll have a 1st down to the 3-yard line. Will Calloway on the tackle, and the Patriots are knocking on the door again.
Alfonso Dennard has got a lot of people wanting him to commit to their program at the next level. And this is why. See how crafty and shifty he is. Once he catches the ball, he's got good, soft hands, and he can really run.
Clemson, Alabama, Purdue, and North Carolina have all expressed interest on the senior wide receiver. 5'10", 190 pounds. His nickname is Fat Boy, and I'm trying to figure that one out because it doesn't look like there's an ounce of fat on him. But it was given to him by his mother.
Yeah, the size of sandwich he eats.
Double tight ends. Antonio Marshall in the back of the eye. He scores. Touchdown, Wilcox County. It's the 2nd touchdown of the day for Antonio Marshall. And it's 26-7, Wilcox County.
Think about it. Athens Academy had them stopped. Never should have thrown the ball that they threw. Should have intercepted it once they did throw it. And it turns out to be a big gainer. After Athens Academy came out all pumped up, fired up, and stuffed the offense.
That was a 6-point difference right there. Mark Ledford has got to enjoy what he's seeing right now. They'll go for 2. Delay game on the Patriots. So they'll back them up 5 and they'll try again. Lorenzo Dennard, 287 yards and 2 touchdowns last week against Lincoln County, and Wilcox County's first ever win over the Red Devils in 5 tries. It was a big deal back in Rochelle. That was a watershed moment for this football program.
How about being down 21-0?
Exactly.
In the first couple of minutes.
And coming back the way they did. Dennard's looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Intended for Joe James. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Wilcox County just scored to make it 26-7 Patriots. 4:33 to go in 3rd. Athens Academy, Bo, needs something positive to happen on this offensive possession to get back in the game, but I gotta think they need something positive on this kickoff return.
Well, it'd be nice to begin with a kickoff return, no doubt about it, John. Get you some good field position because, you know, now the clock is becoming a factor with 4.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. You see that mortar kick. You've got to keep that in bounds. It's a good idea, you know, you just, a lot of people call it a pooch. On kickoffs, it's called a mortar. And you want to bring it down, allows your coverage to come down and make the tackle before they can get going. But you got to keep it in bounds.
Illegal procedure on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Now on the college and professional level, they'll just spot the ball at the 35. Still in the high school level, they'll kick. Quick reminder for you fans with friends and relatives outside of Georgia, this game is available live via the GPB website at www.gpb.org/football. Wherever you are, whether you're in California, New Jersey, Arkansas, wherever you are, anywhere around the world, you can watch this game and all 10 of them on gpb.org. And that is James Colquitt fielding the kickoff. And a big return by Colquitt, still fighting for yards. and he'll be just short of the 45 to the 43-yard line. Good field position for the Spartans, Bo.
Well, Colquitt made a great cut at the 40-yard line. He was going up the lane, going up the numerals, and saw some space the outside, made a great cut at full speed to take it up and gain another 5-6 yards. It looked like he might have had a chance to break it.
Take a look at junior quarterback Will Daniel. The backup who came in midway through the first quarter. Carter Gunn injured his ankle. Still down the sideline, ready if need be. He's got his helmet on in the sideline, cheering on his backup quarterback, trying to lead them to a state championship game. That's Turner, and Jeff Turner will be just short of midfield. Paul Grace on the tackle for the Patriots.
Nice 5-yard gain. Coach may be better off trying to throw it on first down, even though, you know, they haven't changed coverage much, and we don't see that much in high school. It's been man coverage just about all morning.
And again,
it started in man with the coffee. By the time we got the pancakes, it was still man.
And now the donuts are coming. That's Turner fighting for yards, fighting for the first down. He may have gotten it to the 45. That'll be a first down for the Spartans. Jeff Turner, tough kid, hard-nosed. You know, he had to wait his turn to be able to get some minutes, get some playing time with the Spartans. And boy, when he got his opportunity, he was a backup to Nick Stiles, and Nick was a great player for this team last year. But when he got his opportunity, he took it and ran with it. Pardon the pun. And on the option, it's Callaway with a big haul, and Callaway with a nice cut has another first down all the way to the 34-yard line, perhaps the 33. It's Paul Grace on the tackle, and again, the Spartan offense is moving.
We saw that play on that last possession. Remember, it was fumbled, but watch how they have that continuity when we talk about space and had room to throw the football, where you keep that reference point with your running back and your quarterback so that you can make a pitch that he can run onto. It was perfect.
104 yards on the afternoon for Callaway. He missed out in the semifinals last year. He was hurt all year, and here Callaway again with a carry. Gets about 5 yards before Chris Hargrove brought him down. There is a penalty flag down. But Will Callaway broke his leg last year and was unable to play in the semifinal game last year here at the Georgia Dome. As we get the call, face mask against Wilcox County. They'll tack on some more yards. So this is his chance now, Will Callaway's chance to play on the big stage, and he's making the most of it.
Just itty-bitty, 5-10.
5 yard, face mask penalty, be first down.
Will Callaway, 5'10", 180. But coach says he's really tough.
He's got a 3.1 grade point average, scored a 28 on the SAT.
And at 180, he bench presses 330 pounds.
Strong kid. Callaway in the back of the eye. He'll get the call. Tough runner, gets 5 yards. Brought down by a host of Patriots led by Nate Morehouse and Chris Hargrove.
See how tough they are? You know, Coach mentioned it, and they certainly have displayed that, especially after the disappointment of that interception that was caught and resulted in the TD. But they have come back so mentally tough, and they fight on every down and for every yard.
And so even keeled emotionally, which is kind of rare for 16, 17, 18-year-old kids.
Here it is.
On the end around. Oh. Callaway drops it. Wisely falls on it. That could have broken a big play. Instead, it'll lose about 6 yards.
That was the problem, John. It was look, coach saying, what happened? It was such a big play that his eyes got wide and it took his eyes off the football and dropped the pitch. That's how good it was looking. Watch him come right to the camera side here. Oh, actually, he had that ball, didn't put it away. As he tried to put it away, it just flipped over his elbow.
And that puts Athens Academy in a hole at 3rd down and 14. The Patriots showing blitz. Here they come. Daniel looking to throw. He's got, Colquitt had it in his hands, knocked out of his hands by Randy Denmark.
What a great throw under pressure.
On his back foot.
Oh, great throw under pressure. Right on the money.
Look at that. On his back foot, right there, and the strip by Denmark. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And they almost have to.
Yeah.
Athens Academy needs to get to the 12-yard line for a 1st down. And again, here they come. A little screen over to Shamp. Shamp will be well short of the 1st down. Antonio Marshall on the tackle.
No.
And
backside naked screen. He has no blockers out there. And Wilcox County did a great job of diagnosing it. Look at this, just wheels around. Now there's nobody out there to block for him. And Antonio Marshall wasn't fooled. Made a great play.
Illegal procedure on the offense. Penalties declined. 1st down.
So again, a turnover on downs for Athens Academy. They're 2nd in this 3rd quarter. And so we got a little more than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. And it's not desperation time yet for the Spartans, but they need some kind of turnover.
Need a break. Need a break.
And the breaks have been going Wilcox County's way, especially in the 2nd half. Wilcox County never been to a state final game. This is their first appearance in the semifinals since 1989. Their first ever appearance here in the Georgia Dome. It's a big deal for the folks back in Rochelle. And David Grace caught in that backfield and brought down by Will Jenkins. Beautiful defensive play.
Well, Will wasn't fooled by the unbalanced line.
Big Will Jenkins with the tackle. Here's what's coming up today. Clunch County and Emmanuel County Institute will play in the other Class Single A semifinal. In Class 3A, Carver's back in the Dome. They'll take on the Chamblee Bulldogs, 12-1. It's a 3 o'clock kick. At 6, it's the Tucker Tigers and the Northside Eagles. Battle of undefeateds in 4A. And their night session, Thomas County Central undefeated 13-0. Take on the Gators of Ware County. That's your nightcap here at the Georgia Dome. Remember, we got 5 more games tomorrow as Antonio Marshall tries to pop it outside, and he'll get to about the 23-yard line, forced out of bounds by Will Calloway. It'll bring up 3rd and long. Most importantly, it stops the clock.
Allows him to put his shoe back on. I guess that was Calloway who ran out of his shoe. Had a chance to whip the ball carrier out of bounds and then just let go of his shirt. That was a smart decision.
So he decleated himself, in other words. 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun. Renzo Dennard. Play action, and it's complete to Willie Gibson, and Gibson will have a 1st down and a lot more. Tight reps the sidelines, and Gibson, 1 man to beat, touchdown. What a play by the Patriots. On 3rd and long, a 2nd huge gain, this time for a touchdown. 76 yards. Look at Willie Gibson go, Bo.
Just the speed of Wilcox County has been sensational. But look at the speed of McCabe Matthews. Came from the far side of the field, all the way downfield, and almost was able to prevent that touchdown, knock him out of bounds on the 1. That's hard. That's courage. That's pure speed is what it is.
Well, we've seen that all afternoon.
But he would not give up.
We've seen that all afternoon from McKay Matthews. And how about Willie Gibson, the senior?
Oh, just tremendous.
4.40. They call him Dank.
Yeah.
That's his nickname. He had 2 touchdowns against Miller County in the 2nd round, Bo.
Excellent catch and a great move to get free.
So a 2-point conversion, and it's Grace. And Grace will be stopped short, and so will remain at 32-7 as we come to the end of the third quarter. So far, it's been all Wilcox County. Even though their Spartans are down 32-7, they still believe in Athens Academy. And the Patriot fans who made the trip from Rochelle, Georgia, and Abbeville, and all over Wilcox County, they've enjoyed their trip to the Georgia Dome. James Colquitt takes the kickoff, running up the middle. Stopped at the 32 and will be brought down there by Wilcox County's Trey Clack.
Oh, it was a good run back of that kick. You know, he just had no hesitation, ran it up in there tough.
Will Daniel, the junior quarterback. And it's been a tough afternoon for the Spartans, but this kid, well, they're in good hands for next year with Will Daniel as their quarterback.
Good-looking thrower.
They may make another championship run with this guy under center. Jeff Turner on the handoff will get about 4 yards, and that's it. Casey Surser on the tackle for the Patriots. And I don't feel a sense of urgency yet from the Athens Academy Spartans.
Well, just so much you can do.
That's true. That's Callaway, Will Callaway, maybe a couple, and that's it. And this defense, Paul Grace on the tackle of Wilcox County, pinning their ears back. Got a comfortable lead, and they're just going after it.
Coach Gunn looks like he's decided to keep this within the context of Spartans football. And just, you know, run our playbook. You know, no use throwing this thing around the lot and making the score even worse.
Athens Academy here last year lost to Prince County. And Daniel trying to throw it, knocked down by Chris Hargrove. It'll be 4th down.
That's almost like got to be you know, the kind of hitch and go where you throw it out, because that ball, if it got there, it might have been intercepted.
Right.
Might have been, it was almost intercepted at the line of scrimmage, but there were defenders coming up in good position. You want to hitch it out there and let the receiver go downfield and then throw it downfield.
Landon Heath back to punt. Grace. And Grace has an opening. Cross midfield to the 40-yard line. Oh, they're having some fun at Wilcox County as you take a look at Mark Ledford. As you can tell, this is a special team, and Coach Ledford tells you why this 2007 edition of the Patriots are special.
It's been I guess one of those magical years for us, but it's a season that we've looked forward to for 4 years now. A lot of our kids started as freshmen of these guys, and they were 2-8 as freshmen. And their sophomore year, they were 6-4. Last year, 9-3. So this year has been the year, and where we are now is where we hope to be. And they're a great bunch of kids. They're pretty good players, but they're real good kids also.
Well, Mark Ledford was a quarterback for this Wilcox County team back in the mid-'80s. And in 7 years at the helm at his alma mater, he's 41, 34-1, 3-3 in the playoffs. He is a Patriot to the core. He played under legendary coach Donnie Clack, who's now the athletic director. And this 12-win season by Wilcox County, and that's tied a school record, and they're about 10 minutes away from breaking that school record with their 13th win. There's David Grace. Pops out of that hole, and almost gets a first down. I thought he was down, but he was able to escape.
Now might as well put on a show if you're Wilcox County. Enjoy your trip to the Georgia Dome. Enjoy the sheriff picking you up at 6 o'clock this morning and escorting the buses over to the dome with the sirens going and the lights going, and get all the juices flowing and come in here and get on this rug. Now you can start to show off, Wilcox County.
Coming to the big city, playing on the big stage, and the Patriots are clicking on all cylinders. Give to the fullback, and maybe a couple of yards, and that's it. That was Bjorn Porter on the carry. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Wilcox County Patriots. It's been a second half, all Wilcox County. A couple of touchdowns, and they've blown this game open. 3rd and 1. Grace. And Grace stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Brought down by Evans Wellborn as Will Jenkins lost his hat trying to make that tackle.
Athens Academy did a nice job there. They had the blitz run defense on and worked to perfection.
4th down. Let's take a look at Lorenzo Dennard. Look at those numbers from the day. 233 yards on 9 completions, 3 touchdowns. That's an MVP performance. Nick Marshall is in, his backup. And that's David Grace. Looking for running room, runs into his old man. And he'll lose yardage, and Athens Academy will take over on down. James Colquitt on the stop.
He's not going to settle for a loss and say, oh, well, take the tackle. At least the clock will keep running. No.
He's fighting for those
yards. We're
yards.
going, baby.
He's still playing.
Yeah.
He likes playing on this fast track. Athens Academy players down. Hate to see that this late in the game. Will Calloway brings a couple. As we're 8.5 minutes to go. And Athens Academy still fighting.
Yeah, go out with some dignity. No use throwing it around the lot if you're not used to doing that. You just play Spartan football and take your licks and come back next year.
Athens Academy's last loss was September 29th by Fellowship Christian. A 31-14 loss. He's rattled off a number of wins. Colquitt on the carry. Will get to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Oh, they fired up on that defensive side of the ball for the Patriots.
You can hear that crowd over there. They didn't come this far to sit on their hands.
Bring up 3rd and 8. And Michael Gunn has a program at Athens Academy. 17 years. They've been in the playoffs 11 straight years. Only had 1 losing season in his 17 years at Athens Academy. This is a team that will be packing the playoffs as James Colquitt gets level, but able to bounce off. And just short of the first down. Denmark was there to greet him.
Maybe the run of the day, John.
Maybe.
Had them dead to rights. Had them stuffed. Bounces out of that. Make something after that.
That was actually Tyrell Miller.
Well, what year is Tyrell?
He's a sophomore.
Wow.
Big sophomore, too.
Looks like coach is going to be here 12 years in a row.
Colquitt had 117 yards rushing in the first round game against Tryon. He'll get the call again. Big haul, and Colquitt will have a first down. He fumbles the football, picked up by Rashad Martin. And Martin brings it to the 30-yard line.
Isn't that the way it's gone?
It hasn't been a good day on the offensively for the Spartans with those turnovers.
Well, that's the way you can rationalize the loss. You know, you don't want to just say, look, imagine the things that happened that never happened to us.
So the young junior, Rashad Martin, with the run back. And backup quarterback Nick Marshall is in. Hands it off to Jontarius Jackson, a freshman. He'll get a few yards.
And Coach Ledford is doing this classy thing as well. He's running the clock.
Letting the young kids play. Get their chance here in the big stage. So Wilcox County 5 minutes away from the first state championship berth. That's Jackson again. He'll get to the 29-yard line before being brought down by Henry Terrell. Well, Wilcox County, it's a team that had success under Donnie Clack in the 70s and 80s. They've had success recently. And now Mark Ledford in his 7th year. Very close to opening that door for the first time, going to the state championship game. Something they've never experienced down in Rochelle. It's Jackson again, and he'll be brought behind the line of scrimmage. Will Jenkins on the tackle. There's a penalty flag down. And it'll be on the Patriots.
Illegal block in the back on the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
It's fun to watch backs mature, running backs. You know, there's so much learning. People just think that's a natural ability. Well, obviously the speed is natural ability, the quick feet is natural ability, but sight lines, seeing the field, and you know, that time the running back should have taken it outside and he cut it up and it wasn't there.
And the pass is complete to Tay Porter. Porter will be well short of the first down. Mark Sanders on the tackle, and so Patriots will turn it over on downs.
Very conservative pass play. Not like coach trying to rub it in, wasn't going downfield.
Well, Michael Gunn, it's been a tough afternoon, but he'll tell you he loves coaching. Here's Michael Gunn.
It's a chance to work with high school kids. I started teaching at the middle school level my first year at Athens Academy, and I had come from a job where I was working with high school kids, and I just feel like that is such an impressionable age, and those kids are, you know, you can mold and change some things, and I think when they get older in the college level, you don't have the opportunity to mold as much, and I think you can become part of their lives, and I think that's important to me, and I've got great kids to work with and great parents to work with.
Michael Gunn's also a trigonometry teacher at Athens Academy. He has a lot of his senior players in his class, so he can keep an eye on them during the day. I wasn't much with numbers, Bo.
Well, he gives them such tricky problems, so the kids are worn out from thinking all afternoon. They can't go out at night. We got to figure it out by the morning, or they won't get playing time.
Now, do you need rulers and protractors when
you need all that stuff? Yes.
Special calculators?
Oh, gosh.
It's been a tough afternoon for the Spartans and Coach Gunn, but you know, this is a program. Bell bounce back. Callaway. And Will Callaway takes a lick. And we'll get to about the 30-yard line. Rod Lawson. And a player down for Athens Academy. Again, you hate to see that this late in the game. Mark Ledford, you know, he enjoys coaching too, and he shares why he enjoys coaching high school kids.
Being with the kids, and I know I've seen these games, and most of the coaches, they feel that too. And I think we have a bond that, to be successful, you got to love the kids. And these guys have been tremendous leaders for us, and it's just fun working with young people and watching them develop through the years. And I just enjoy having to bond with these kids and developing relationships with them. And I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing.
Mark Ledford, the quarterback on this team, came back to coach his alma mater, took over for his coach, Donnie Clark, in 1999. Athens Academy with the ball. And a good run there by Arnon Aragwal. Bring up a first down for the Spartans. He's brought down by Chris Cooley. Aragwal is an interesting story, Bo. He wants to become an aeronautical or biochem engineer.
No kidding.
He's got a 4.0.
Wow.
He's really a heck of a player on defense in the nose guard position. Jeff Turner, who was injured, is back in the game. That's Callaway, and Callaway will pick up 5 as we near the 4-minute mark. Before we Wilcox County, 4 minutes away from their first state championship or game appearance.
Well, it's been a fun game, John. The turning point on that game was that interception in the third quarter, which resulted in a reception for Wilcox County.
Jeff Turner with a big hole to run through at the first down to about the 29-yard line, brought down by Rod Lawson. It's been a tough physical game, Bo.
Yeah, definitely. Both these teams played their hearts out. And right to the end also.
Reminder coming up after this one, the second Class Single A semifinal, Clinch County and ECI. Gil Tyree and Mark Lassiter are standing right behind me, getting ready to call that one for you. Here's Callaway, and Callaway, he's not quitting. He's still running hard down to the 19-yard line. It's a first down, and what heart these Spartans are showing.
Yeah, nice cut. We talked about being able to see the field, and you'll see it right here. He just makes a great cut inside.
Clinch County and ECI, undefeated Bulldogs, coming up after this one at 12 noon. And the 3 o'clock game, Carver in the 3A game, making their second straight appearance in the Dome, takes on the Bulldogs of Chamblee. Will Callaway, and Callaway will get to the 13-yard line as the Spartans threaten to score one more time. Rashad Martin on the stop for the Patriots.
That'll be a good time to throw one of those slants that have been open all morning. And then you get the onside kick, and then we do it all over again. Here we go.
It's not over till it's over, right?
No.
2.5 to go. One back. McKay Matthews out wide, and that is Turner. Turner will get to about the 8-yard line before being brought down by Sam Porter and Rod Lawson. I do believe there's going to be some kind of celebration tonight in Rochelle, Georgia, Bo Bach.
No, without a doubt. There'll be a celebration going all the way down the highway.
All the way down 75.
It's like the principal was talking about how all the businesses got involved, and the whole town is excited about Wilcox County.
Turner with a couple of yards on first down. Well, that's small town football, Bo. Everybody gets involved, and you know, this is the identity of the county and the town of Rochelle, the Wilcox County football team. Very successful program.
And it's not just small towns, it's bigger towns too. You know, I live up in the Walton area, and all of those, all up and down the street, there's signs out in front of businesses and everybody getting involved. Everybody gets excited about their team.
And we'll see Walton tomorrow night here on GPB. Here's Callaway, and Callaway is in for the touchdown.
Great run.
So a nice positive touchdown run there by Will Callaway to cap off the 2007 season, a highly successful one for the Spartans.
Tough-nosed, just going for it, just competing.
There you take a look at the senior, 5'10", 180 pounds. Mark Allen to add the extra point. And it's 32-14, Wilcox County. Will Callaway, 1,300 yards rushing this year, 16 touchdowns. Strike up the band, Bo. It's been all the Patriots today.
Yeah, a small band, just a pep band, but they made a lot of great sounds this morning.
Pep band from Athens Academy. There's another good look at Will Callaway. Didn't get to play in the Dome last year against Clinch County as he suffered a broken leg. He's made the most of the game so far. 136 yards today for Mr. Callaway. So he got his opportunity to play on the big stage and took advantage of it.
Everybody wants to play in the Dome.
Great atmosphere. You get to play in the same building that the Falcons play in. Think of all the big events that are here.
I remember when I was a kid and got to play in Madison Square Garden.
Did you?
Oh, what a thrill. Every year we would play in Madison Square Garden. That was a thrill. It's like the kids feel here. You know, the baskets seem shorter. You know, the courts seem faster. And that's the way this turf at the Georgia Dome makes kids feel. They feel faster and feel like they can do anything.
How about this crowd for a 9 a.m. kickoff here at the Georgia Dome? They've been alive, too.
You know what? I'll meet you here again tomorrow morning.
All right.
For breakfast for the AA semifinal game. I'll bring the pigskins.
You're going to bring the pigskins?
Pigskins for breakfast again tomorrow.
Looking forward to bringing you that game as Bo and I will bring you Beaufort and Dublin in the AA semifinal. Another full day of football tomorrow here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. In all, we got 10 games. This is just the first. And what a game it's been to get your football weekend started here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. Nick Marshall will finish it out for the Patriots. And he'll give it to the fullback. He'll gain a couple of yards, and that's about it. That was Antonio James on the carry. A couple more snaps, and they'll load up the bus, head back to Rochelle, Georgia, and enjoy and get prepped up for the state championship game. And their opponent will be our next game here on Georgia Public Broadcasting, ECI in Clinch County. Gentarius Jackson got a bounds at the 21-yard line, and we'll snap it again. Jackson's just a freshman.
Yeah, and that's why he ran out of bounds. Coach didn't want him to run out of bounds.
He'll learn. First thing they'll talk about when they put the pads on again in August next year.
Except that all his other freshman players said, run out of bounds, run out of bounds, we'll get another play. A lot of 18 seniors and 9 freshmen in Wilcox County. 13 seniors and 15 freshmen with Athens Academy.
And again to the fullback. A couple of yards there. As the clock winds down, and the fans from Rochelle, Georgia, oh, are they happy. They made a 2-hour drive north to the Georgia Dome and watch their Patriots perform on the big stage. Stand up and applaud your Patriots. They're going to the state championship game for the first time in school history, and the 13 wins is the most ever in school history.
Congratulations.
And Mark Ledford, a Patriot to the core. And Michael Gunn.
Yeah, Athens Academy fought like champions all morning long. And it's tough to be disappointed like that when you give that type of effort, but it's got to be a winner and a loser. And Athens Academy has got a lot to be proud about.
So Wilcox County moves on to the state title game in Class Single A with a 32-14 win over Athens Academy. They'll face the winner of the next game you'll see here on Georgia Public Broadcasting, Clinch County and ECI. And one of the best pictures in sports right there, Bo Bach, the handshake.
Great sportsmanship here at the GHSA.
Scott Kozlowski, it's all yours.
Let's go get on side. Okay. Hey, Coach, tell me how it feels to be going to the state championship game.
Hey, it's great. I'm excited for our football team. This is a dream we've had, our community's had. We've been close before many years ago, and I'm happy for our team. I'm happy for our community.
Congratulations, Coach. It was a great game. John, back up to you.
Thank you, Scott. And Wilcox County wins it. We're back after this. The Wilcox County Patriots are heading to the state championship game in Class A. They defeat Athens Academy 32-14. So here's how it looks. Wilcox County will move on and take on the winner of our next game, Clinch County and ECI. That game coming your way. Gil Tyree and Mark Lassiter are standing by, ready to bring you that one. It was a beauty here at the Georgia Dome. Wilcox County prevails over Athens Academy. For Scott Kozlowski and Bo Bach and our entire crew, I'm John Wilkerson. We'll see you tomorrow.